Hey, what's going on here? Happy Sunday. It is a happy Sunday. They used to sing a song, Oh Happy Day, Oh Happy Day. Y'all don't remember the song. But anyway, I don't feel like breaking it down. A little tired, but good, moving forward and stuff like that. Uh, uh, all is well. But happy Sunday. I hope everyone enjoyed your Sunday day off. It's a weekend for some people, church day for me and most others. And so have to go give my praise to my God, one and only Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And so appreciate you all. Thanks for tuning in again. Missed you guys. I think we're on schedule for a little bit. So we should be on again next Friday at 8 p.m. and then next Sunday at 8 p.m. I'm back up in South Carolina. That's coming up. I have another book signing coming up. My schedule's crazy. We just got back from Akron, Ohio. Last weekend, we just got back from Charlotte, North Carolina. And so we just literally yesterday, plane touchdown. We're back from Akron, Ohio. Had an awesome time while we were up there, seeing my family, precept in Cleveland, Ohio, at my friend's church, Zion True Holiness Church, Pastor Pope. I grew up under his father, Bishop Pope, and so it is what it is. We've been friends like about 54 years. My son married his daughter, just so you know, and so yeah, so my son married his daughter. Hi Nia, and my granddaughter's over there, Ari, and my son Big Mike, I call him. And so yeah, we had a good time. Saw the family, had dinner and stuff like that. But so much happened in Akron. I'm telling you, so much. I'm from Akron, Ohio. If you didn't know that, it's in my book as well. But I'm from Akron, Ohio. LeBron James and I from same place. And I say that, and I always tell you, I interviewed to work for LeBron James, so forth, so on. Uh, um, Doing some great things. I got a chance. Y'all want to know this, right? So I'll show you the snapshot if I can share it. Uh, um, See if I can share the screen right quick. We went, I'll let you see it first, to Buckets, Akron, Ohio. That's LeBron James restaurant. You see We Promise at the bottom. I did not realize LeBron was doing so much stuff in Akron. And so I'm definitely a fan. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm following LeBron, whatever team he could play for Utah. I'm be a Utah fan. All right, I've never been a Utah fan. It is what it is. But yeah, I was at Buckets and stuff. I don't know if I can change the pictures out and stuff like that. But if I could, I could show you more. Let me see if I can use the arrows. Uh, Let me see here. I was going to show you the pictures of outside our food. The food is outstanding. His food, I had some fried pickles. I can't wait to tell LeBron. His fried pickles. We brought some back. I just finished eating someone at my dinner. The fried pickles off the chain. I've never had fried pickles like that. We have a place in Virginia we like. But LeBron, I had a fish sandwich, fried chicken, salad. We actually brought some of the salad back. I'm about to eat the rest of that when I finish this. And then LeBron's food at his restaurant, classy. I can't change. I thought I could change the pictures because I want y'all to see more than just that. This is just the top of the menu. And I just want y'all to see that I was in Akron Hall this past week and go from there. All right. So let me see if I can show you another one, because I can't flow through these the way I want to. And but yeah, but we had a great time. We had an awesome time up there. His restaurant it's got a Starbucks in there. He has a LeBron like a gallery in there. Hit the bathrooms. Oh my God, the bathrooms are out of this world. They're nice. He had a theater in there. But guess what? Next year we're working on my next book to be uh, 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 premiered there at LeBron James restaurant. All right. So that big deal. Okay, big deal. Give me kudos and stuff, but planning to do that. There we go. There we go. Yes. Yeah. Plan to do my next book. And so when that released to debut it right there at LeBron's restaurant. I was actually inspired because LeBron likes to do stuff and give back to Akron, and he actually inspired me to want to do. We will possibly do our movie premiere in Akron as well for my movie when it comes out. But my next book, but he has a health clinic, he has a school, he has the restaurant. I mean, right there on West Market Street, he has all these things. I did not realize he had a health clinic and everything that LeBron it says we promise, and not just the restaurant. He owns the whole building. Has a bank in there. I think it's Chase Bank, and then Starbucks, and then other venues and stuff. But they said LeBron owns the whole building, and he shows up there probably a couple times a year, and I'm hoping when I'm there again he will be there as well. But I didn't get to see him. But his staff is so nice. His staff is so nice. We met, one of the business managers, Flojo, and that's her nickname. But she's a track star. My wife was a track star as well, but she's hooking us up. And then I met one of the hostess for the restaurant, Lovely. And I remember her name because we talking about miracles and how she was a miracle. And then kudos to you, Lovely, and kudos to Vince. Vince was our waiter, and he's actually a football player as well, and he's hoping to play football for college and stuff. But the attitude of the folks there, I'm telling you, LeBron, I can't wait to talk to him. He's a class act, and I didn't know what to expect, but every expectation that I had, he exceeded. He exceeded it for me, and so I was really, really pleased to be there. But that's you can take a picture of that while it's up there because it's having cause I'm having issues. I have technical difficulties. I hope it get fixed, So but yeah. Take a picture of it and go from there. I can put it back up right quick. Um, because y'all might want to take a picture of it. But that's what the menu looks like, and we put it back up so you can see it. There you go. All right. And go from there. All right. So that's that. I just wanted you to have it and go from there. All right. So you got it. So take it off. All right. So took your pictures. But yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I was going to try to show you some picture, but maybe in the show, if I get it working, it's not working. I'm not sure what the issues are, because you know how this this computer technology stuff works sometimes. Sometimes it act right and sometimes it doesn't. So it's not acting right. So I did get to show you the menu. I got some stuff to talk about as well. But we had a great time. Got to see family, like I said, and we're looking to go back up there in a year. But I haven't been to Akron. That's home for me in like 5 years. Seriously, since like my son got married there. He married my best friend, the pastor, his daughter Nia. Yeah, so all is well. This thing is not working. So I can't. I was going to show you, but if it comes up, I'll try to show you throughout the show. But it's not working right. Nevertheless, we're going on, talk about the show, but we're back safe and sound. And I have to leave again. I've been going, I'm telling you, maybe except for we're home for like 2 weeks and stuff like that. And then we're hitting South Carolina. Then we come back, I think, for like a week, and then we're at a film festival because we started debuting one of my films is coming out called Transformer. And that's not my movie. I'm just producer for that. And then hopefully next year, next summer, my movie will be released and my book. Or I'm trying to release them both at the same time. We'll see how all that works out. I'm like, boy, timing this stuff is crazy, But pray for me, keep me in prayers. And so I want to give a shout out, because I promise I met this young lady um, at the mall. Oh, I hear thunder in the background. Y'all might hear that too. This is our rainy season down here in Florida. But anyway, I met this young lady named Sheila Smith up at the mall. Akron had Rolling Acres Mall. They closed it down. Then they had Chapel Hill Mall. They closed it down. Summit Mall was kind of like, upscale section. I said like that. And so we actually stayed close to that proximity, in the hotel. And so we, nice area. And so we was in there, and I don't have them on, but I bought some a gold chain and stuff for a bracelet for me, and so got good deal and some other bracelets because I got a bare arm. I was wearing them beads, and them beads come to find out it's into Buddhist, so the Buddha stuff. So I don't do Buddha stuff, so I got rid of those and took them off, and now I'm just getting some braces and go from there. So be nice to do, and that's it. I hope to get another one when we go to Belize down in November. But keep up with me now, because we're doing a lot of stuff, and I'm starting other business as well. Just doing a lot of things and moving forward. But things are looking good, like for real. Things is coming together, and once I start getting stuff out there, you guys will be well pleased. And especially y'all might see me with LeBron. LeBron might surprise me, and we hook up and stuff like that. And you'll be like, he's with LeBron. Yes, yes. I'm definitely a fan of LeBron. I think he's awesome. He's breaking all kinds of records and doing his thing. But Akron was cool. Summit Mall is nice mall. Uh, um, and that's pretty much it. Had a great time at church, speaking up there. And some people I met in Florida at a convention um, end up coming to Cleveland to see me preach, Friday night as well. So um, just awesome, and shout out to the Marines because one of the ladies was a former Marine. Well, once a Marine, always a Marine. Then Emma, and we hoping to see him because I'm in Las Vegas next year as well, doing a book signing there in Las Vegas at one of the hotels there. Oh my God, just things are just open up, and I'm scheduling things out like a year, and isn't that crazy? Yeah, and so you're gonna see a lot more of me, especially when the movie comes out and go from there. That's it. Yeah, right. But getting on the crazy things and this thing's still not acting right. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. Oh man, trying to get this thing working. But I know y'all want to talk because you ain't been here. I hope you got questions and you told somebody about us and say, you know what, y'all got to get on the show. People like my show. They sit there and tune in. So we should get some new people from Akron as well. They're supposed to come onto the show as well. And some may want to come live. You never know about that, but the information's out there. I will flash it up again just in case, so you can have it on to see it. All right, this is it right here. Copy that, take a picture of it, whatever. But you could come on live with that link right there, and if you wanted to. So sometimes people say they can't see my links because I'm on a different, streaming site, and so I put it up there on the screen so you can have it and go from there. All right. And so if you need it again, let me know. But it's out there and go from there. But I don't want to miss anyone because people got questions, people got relationships. I talked to a couple that's getting married. I was like, come and check out the show, ask the questions. Because this is where you at. Is no pun intended. And do it now. At some point I want to start charging for being on my show. It's like $1 a month, we're gonna get to. So that's it, and go from there. All right. Um Let me see where we at. I have to get back here. All right, shout out to my sister-in-law, Linda. Oh my God. Shout out for Mike and Mel. Shout out to you. Right on, right on, right on. All right, I forgot. Getting back to Sheila Smith. She's a great young lady. I stopped her, told her about my book, told her about the movie, and I told her I'm gonna give her a shout out on my podcast. I'm doing it now, Sheila. You're right on. You're a beautiful young lady, and you have a sweet spirit. And continue to keep that thing going. And next time in Akron, follow me. Make sure y'all follow me on my Instagram and my podcast and Facebook. And so my Instagram is BM Boy Michael and my last name, Gilcreast, Gilcreast. So BM Boy Michael at not at but Boy Michael, Gilcreast. Follow my Instagram as well. And so we're gonna post up there when we're up there to Akron, and especially for you, Sheila, pass the word that I'm coming to Akron to do a book signing at LeBron's restaurant. And so we're getting the hookups all happening there. Just things happen. I am excited because yeah, I told you I interviewed for LeBron back in the '90s, in the mid '90s, and when I left the Air Force, and so I've been a fan of LeBron even before that. Just watching his life from high school to NBA, and seeing how things worked out for him really well, how his mom, Gloria, was, in his life as well. And and just we share a friend in common, so that we went to school with, just pretty awesome, all the way around. And I'm just amazed on how things worked out the way they have been. And so I was going to give a shout out to my friend that's up there as well. And I have to find the right names and stuff like that because it's all jacked up, and go for that. I don't know how to work my phone, but I try to call folks, keep people in. Shout out to my cousins up there, meeting new friends. Some people I'll be doing some singing stuff with. Um, um, I cannot find that guy's number, and I always have seem to have this issue when I want to do something good. And hold on one second. Marcus Board. I always his name always slipped me. Marcus Board. So Marcus is the one that interviewed me when I was going to work for LeBron James, and so we have that person in common. So we just get things out there. I'm giving him a shout out, Marcus. Right on. He got my book reading it, and he's enjoying it as well. And just so many things are happening. All right. So I'm getting back to relationship, finding love on the rebound. And we on like the 23rd episode. And it's amazing. LeBron's number, everything, all his prices end in 23, just so you know, on his menu. And I can't even open it up because I'm having technical difficulties. I can't even get rid of it. It won't disappear. So um, I'm not sure why. And it won't even let me open up other stuff. And not sure what it's doing, why it wants to do that, and so forth, so on. But we shall see how to get it working, the proper way and go from there. All right. So until then, you know, uh, we just do what we have to do. All right. So now I'm having all these other issues. Duh. You know, with this computer stuff. Yeah, all right, there we go. I'm back online. All right, so we'll see. Hopefully, it'll start working correctly. Right now, it's not doing what it's supposed to do, so I can't, do what I need to do. But we'll see what happens, as the show moves on. But I'm trying to figure out. We're dating, and I was listening to some news media, and these people, they go to the courthouse. All right. They go to the courthouse. I don't know what dating looks like in 2026. If I was a single man, I'll tell you, I think, don't laugh at me. I think I would become a monk, you know, because they had this white lady. Nothing wrong with it. I've dated white, black, whatever. So it's not a race thing. But the thing is, some people have these superior complex and this and that. And this white lady, she wanted to have a baby by a black guy. And I said, wow. And they were for about 10 months, they were dating. It was on some court show I was listening to. And they were dating about 10 months, and she played his way. She put him on. I'm telling you, people don't do this. Don't do this. I'm explaining to you stuff that's happened. It's kind of like nonchalant. People don't want to date. They do all these different things. They want to date. People are still getting married, and I think that's a great thing. You know, but they want to date, but they want the guy to during it. Lord, I can't get it out. They want the guy to donate. Well, she wanted this guy, black guy. He was like a biracial black guy, but she was wanting him to to be inseminated with his sperm so she can have a child because she's trying to predict how beautiful the child. So if you biracial and then you mix that with white, so it's almost like you can't play God, but it's almost like I want to have a beautiful baby. And chances are baby probably be beautiful. Anytime you mix whatever culture with seem like black, you turn out like absolutely gorgeous, you know. And so you know, it is what it is. And so when I heard it, I was in disbelief because she paid for his airfare and hotel, you know, for them to come and get to know each other. So, and then she wanted to take him to, he don't like chicken. And so she wanted to take him, I don't know if y'all heard this story too, but to places where they eat chicken because she wants the soul side, you know, because they think chicken is soulful, but everybody eats chicken, right? And and so she can have a baby with this kid well, a young man. And so what are we doing? You know, as couples and relationships, and you know, some women have gotten older and they're freezing their eggs, and you know, and some people just want the baby and not the relationship. Some people want the relationship and the baby. Some people are freezing eggs to have a baby later on. I'm saying, what are we doing? Really, it's funny to me because I never looked at procreation as such, you know, or even putting it in a test tube, you know, putting sperm and egg and let it ferment and have, you know, inside the or inseminate inside the test tube because they have test tube babies and stuff as well, you know. But God gave us natural bodies, natural body temperatures, the right chemicals and hormones and everything to solidify the growth of a baby or embryo to baby inside of a female. And that's just God's natural order. All right. And I'm not trying to move outside of that, but it's getting crazy. That's my point. It's when I heard, I said, "No way!" My wife had ran to the store. She came back, and I'm like, "Listen to this. This this is crazy. Do we want love? Do we want the natural way? Do we want to do it the right way? You know, the normal way. The what's norm? We got all these taboos or tabooish ways that we have, and mindsets where we're trying to do everything outside the box. You know, what is wrong with us? You know, seriously, what is wrong with us? Where we haven't don't understand what or how we want to do things. What is wrong with us? You know what I mean? And so I don't understand that. How we do things as such. And we want to be normal. I, I'm perplexed. Seriously, I'm confused. I heard the story. I'm like, wow, wow. And the stories are getting crazier and crazier and crazier and crazier. And what we do? I mean, kids not going to have identity. They'll come out like, do I supposed to act like mom or dad? Or since I'm born from a test tube, you know, am I supposed to be mechanical? Like, my name is John, you know, and it's going to get crazier because we got all this power, all these resources, and we don't even want to have sex the normal way, you know, man with woman having intimacy. What's wrong with us, for real? Because now I don't know if y'all heard about it, but they making robots now. I mean, come on. We look at dating. I think I would become a monk for real. If I was single, I I don't want to go through that. You know, I want to, you know, mess up with gold diggers and, you know, so forth, so on. I don't want to get involved with that. You know, just not right. And so I'm hesitant on I'm talking because I'm actually perplexed. I'm confused, and I'm like, wow, is this the what we're coming to? You know, whereas we you know don't want normalcy anymore. Is this the new norm? You know, is this where we at? Um, it's got to be a better way. Seriously, it has to be a better way. You know, where we don't think that we're God, because it seems like that's the direction we're going on. We want to play God. Is that what we want as a people? Um, to play God? think about it. You know, we find a perfect woman say, I don't want to have sex with you. I just want your eggs. And they can fertilize it in a test tube. Or I don't want to have sex with you to a gentleman and I just want your sperm so I can have your baby. And I'm paying the money. And the lady had nerve because the guy changed. The guy changed his mind, right? I'm laughing. And she had nerve to take him to court. And just say, I understand that verbal communication can be, a contract. She said, but the guy changed his mind because he didn't feel that you wanted to know him. You just wanted black culture to that child. And the judge threw it out. The judge threw it out for real. And she didn't win. She wanted to, you don't want to have a baby with me, and it was going good at first and stuff like that. I'm telling you, ain't no woman get my sperm to have a baby. For real. Ain't we can date, we can do this. If I was a single man, seriously, you would not get my sperm to have a baby. It's just to me, it's unnatural. You know, I'm kind of old fashioned, old school. I'm like, maybe that's a new way for the new generations, but that's not for me. And then I'm putting it out there because they were trying to date only for her to get artificially inseminated. Come on now. And I just heard this. I'm like, I gotta bring this to my show. I got this kind of thing is crazy, you know. And I feel bad, seriously, for normal heterosexual relationship. I feel bad because we're changing the definition of what relationships supposed to look like, and we're going to be disappointed all the way around. To find that perfect one, to be in that model, that mindset. I don't know. I truly, truly, truly don't know. What it looks like for us as a people. You know, as an individual. As a relationship. I don't know um, if that's what we're going to. And then I heard this other one. Oh my God. Oh, oh Lord. You know, Any thoughts on that? If y'all could put them down, we go back. I go back through and answer questions. Just if you got thoughts on, should relationships be outside the box now? Since we're doing everything like the Jetsons now, and we can, pretty soon we'll be able to hit our wrist and the screen pop up. We can type it in the air on the screen and make things happen. And go to your bank account, make a phone call, whatever. Technology is changing in such a rapid pace. Then you got these robots. You got robots that act live, that will wash dishes for you, that will clean up your house, that will have sex with you. Come on now. I mean, what are we doing? Really, what are we doing? Are relationships that bad? That that we have this stuff is funny. It really is. It's too funny. This stuff is funny. I'm talking and laughing at the same time, because it's definitely funny. I'm telling you, for real. It's funny. Are we getting to a point where, you know, you don't have to get married anymore? You just get your robot. But I think at the same time, um, to have a relationship, intimate relationship, sexual relationship with a robot, somehow or another, I think that goes against the order of God. For real. I just, God made the Bible. He didn't make, robot A and robot Samantha, or robot B, robot John. He didn't do that and say have intimate relationship. You can't reproduce using robots. You cannot. Now, if you're biblical in any sense, the Bible teaches us to be fruitful and multiply, and so you can't have that. You can only get the end result, and that's it. Period. The end result of sexual gratification. That's it. But it goes against the order. I'm like, what are we coming to? That this is gonna be the norm. You know, you got the Elon Musk is in there, and Elon's got a great mind, and he's doing all these things, but he cannot replace God. He can build cars that can drive themselves. You cannot replace God. And people don't lose mindset of that, you know, because at some point you're gonna be faced with the reality. What do? You know, do I want this robot or do I want the real deal? You know, and I'll tell you, just like bestiality, some people have sex with animals. Some women have sex with animals. Some men have sex with animals. You know, horses and dolphins and this and that. I mean, I've seen so much. It's crazy. But where's the normalcy? Whereas I want to be in a normal relationship. Today I'm glad I'm married. That I'm talking about this stuff. I'm laughing about it, whatever. But I don't want to imagine being in that mindset. I don't want to deal with women anymore. Give me a robot. As y'all are trying to figure out dating and even considering giving up dating, maybe you're one of the ones out there that's considering, getting yourself in the robotic stage and make that your life goal. Hopefully not, but maybe you are. And I just think it's crazy. But this other story, and I did not think I would see this in America. I'm serious, and I know other countries, and I know I got a friend, and his brother lives in Africa, and he has like 3 or 4 wives, and two of the wives are sisters. Okay, I know about it in other countries. I understand that, in some religions, and this, that, and the other. But I saw this. I was looking at one of the court shows, and I don't know that lady's name, Judge Lynn Tolliver or something. I think she's from Ohio or something like that. But anyway, she had a case where one of the wives of the 4 wanted a divorce from a husband who's taking care of 5 women, and then they take turns on who get to spend the night with him. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm telling you, it's happening, and it's going to get worse. Y'all hear me talking now. I'm telling you, what I'm saying now is going to get worse. People are going to be sharing. You'll have a wife with a girlfriend. You'll have a husband with a girlfriend and another girlfriend. I'm telling you, it's gonna change the dynamics of what we do in relationships. It's going to change. And I'm trying to teach what's normal. I'm trying to, speculate and talk about it, have my shows about the normal stuff. But I'm telling you, the more I look at the news and these court shows and stuff like that, I'm like, whoa, it's blowing my mind. Seriously. It's blowing my mind to think that people will want to be in a relationship with a creation, a robot. How can you ever be like gratified from a mental standpoint? Whereas I actually, me and another human being are, in a relationship together. Now I see no gratification if say me and this robot is in a relationship together. And so I'm not there. And then to have be, in a relationship now you got, 4 wives. you know, uh, hmm. Arsenio Hall would go, hmm, you know, and so men want to be with men, women want to be with women, and now you got robots. Then you got folks that into bestiality. They're having sex with their animals, their horses and dogs, and do any of that sound disgusting? Like unnatural? I'm just a point I'm bringing out. That's the kind of stuff I found out this past weekend, and well, past week pretty much. And I'm like, wow. And I just wanted to bring it about, just to bring awareness. We don't even have to discuss it. I'm just saying, is this the place that we're going? Because I can't, if people come to the show and say, you know what, I got 4 wives, I need help. I can't help you. Because my faith and belief don't, you know, will not contradict where you are to appease where you are. And so I'm not gonna do that, So I'm not there, but look at life, look at relationships, and y'all gotta figure out what you want. And you gotta make sure it's the real deal. make sure that he wants the same thing you want or she wants the same thing you want. You gotta make sure. Remember, I tell you to get your check sheet, the check sheet, and write it down. Stuff you like, dislike. Come tell you, if people start talking robots, you put that. You gonna have to add that as a category. Say out of the question. Kill it right now, whatever. And so write your check sheet and figure out what you want. Because I'll tell you, it's going to get worse. It definitely going to get worse. It definitely going to get worse. You know, bad enough that men want kids. We try to find a relationship, and they don't want the adults. They want the kids. You know, like I done covered a lot so far today, and I'm like, wow. But a lot of that is out of frustration and disgust, if you will. You know, and I'm just not there on how people can, you know, entertain that type of ideal or thought process if that's where they want to be, you know, and that's not the future for me, but it's here. And I'm bringing awareness to you all so y'all can say, you know what? I heard it first on the Mike Gilcreast show. I'm serious because I want you to be aware of what's happening, how our life is changing, our culture is changing, our food is changing. You know, you can't even eat food without pesticides or they're dissecting the seeds and is GMO, you know, genetically modified. And I'm like, wow, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with normalcy? Husband, one man, one woman, and you live happily after. Happily ever after. I'm fumbling on my words. And what happened to us to just I want a normal relationship? What does normal look like? And normal is changing. Depends on who you ask. Depends on what show you're on, what podcast you're on, what TV show you're on. Normal's changing. It's no more normal. It's pretty soon you already got brothers and sisters. Brothers gonna be like brothers and sisters dating, cousins are dating, moms dating their sons, daughters dating their fathers. Come on now, it's crazy. You already got mother and daughter getting pregnant by the boyfriend of the daughter, and come on, really, that's true story. Like that is crazy. Makes no sense. You know, I am never writing a book about stuff like that. I'm telling you. I'm writing a book for women, but not on the terms of that, the stuff we're discussing now. No way. I don't believe it. I'm not going to give it fuel and make people like curious about what if I get a male robot and he does everything I want. You're not going to be happy. You need spontaneity. You need life. You need life to take itself and take a direction of its own. You don't need something you got to tell what to do and program it and then force yourself to be happy with the results. No, that's not happiness. Why are we settling? You know, and I'm finding out, even on top of everything I just told you, and that's a whole lot. You know, one of the ladies want to leave the divorce. I mean, the man with the four wives, because the guy, you know, is stepping out on them, getting with the other girls, and then the women that's caring about him, supposed to be the wife, are more concerned about what he's eating than who he's sleeping with. All right, even the judge made a comment that of you concerned about. I'll be concerned about the man cheating, not when he's eating. So we've changed it, but I hear this now. You know, I talk to my friends and stuff, and the thing is now for real. And women, I hope you're not going to be one of these statistics and one of these guys that's just settling for whatever. But women are beginning to allow their man to share. Oh Lord, I even said that, and that's a real deal because it's going to get crazier than what we see today. Nobody wants to be. I'm the number one and only one, and I'm not sharing, not even with the robot. I'm not. That's not my. I'm not competing with. If you want a robot, all right, I would divorce you. My wife's not on that robot stuff, so not worried about that here. But some people will have to be concerned about stuff like that, and then they'll be finding love on the rebound because they're like, my wife wants a robot. She don't want me anymore. So life's going to move on. It's going to open up a whole new dimension of things because Everybody wants their own appetite to be pleased, and nobody cares about nobody else, no one else. It's just you want your appetite to be pleased, and that's it. I want this in the story. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it true. And you may end up getting that, but you got to figure out there's consequences to everything. What if the robot turn on you? What if you lose your sex organ because oh, that would be a news headliner, right? Because it's got to get crazy. It's got to get crazier. Because anytime we want to do things out of the order of God, I'm not here to preach to you, but it always backfires. You cannot go against what's God's natural design or natural order supposed to take place in how we do life as a society, as a people. All right. So I said a whole lot. I feel bad for the parents who kids are dating because the parents got to give the kids advice. Because the kid's gonna come to mom, you know, these girls don't act right. Should I get me a robot? Mom, these guys don't act right. Should I get a robot? What answers are you gonna have for your kids who's trying to find love, who broke up with the normal relationship, and then they're out there trying to find love on a different level? And so what do you do? And then on top of all this, you got the human trafficking, you got everything. I mean, we're in a total chaos. This is tyranny at its best. We're at total chaos of what life's supposed to look like. What's normalcy supposed to look like? What's a heterosexual relationship supposed to look like? It's changing all the time. Nobody's happy with the status quo, with the way things are. Nobody's happy that everybody wants to change it. Everybody wants something new. Everybody wants to do something different. But what about you? Can you be that one person and say, you know what? I just want the normal thing. If it's not normal, I don't want it. I don't want it. And so we got to be in that mindset. We got to stick to what's right. The normal that we live for centuries. All this new stuff, robots wasn't here. And to have a relationship with a robot, it's going that way. And they sell a good tune. But what if that robot at some point turn against their owners? What do you do? Because it's going to happen. It's got to happen. We get bored, we tweak things, we turn things up, we put a screwdriver here and there, we add extra batteries, whatever it takes. What is your relationship going to look like? Can you see yourself with a with a mechanical being for a relationship? I laugh. It's funny. I cannot see myself with a mechanical being. I cannot. They make cars, so what do you say? You get a baby born, you get artificial inseminated, and say, "Me and my mechanical husband had a baby." Now you sound crazy, but they're not even going to lock people up for that, for sounding crazy. They're going to spread it around like it's the normal thing to do. Why don't you be the next person who gets your robot, and you two could have a baby? You know, don't that sound crazy? But we're moving towards crazy. What used to be no, and that was normal is no longer. All right, let's look at some questions. All right, I got a few down here, and I won't get too far because I know I'm just talking and I'm rambling, but I'm disappointed for real. To be honest, I am totally disappointed at what I've seen, what I'm hearing. All right, here's a question. It says, nice of him to put a restaurant of his hometown. Oh, that's me. That's LeBron James restaurant. But Akron, Ohio, and I put it up there. I cannot show y'all other pictures because I'm having technical difficulties. Maybe after this show, maybe the next show, I can show you some other pictures because I got pictures of us outside the building and inside the menu. Me and one of my waiter, that Vince that waited on me, and I hope to get him again. I can't wait to go back. The food was good. I'm telling you, I'll eat the rest of the salad that we got from there. The fried pickles, I've never had fried pickles like that. LeBron, kudos to you. All right, great menu selection. All right, all right. When the connections in a relationship change over time, what steps can you keep them strong? Because I'm telling you, intimacy, money and finance and sex Those are two big things. I don't care how good you think your relationship is. Finance and sex. Two big reasons people divorce or break up. Cause we like women got. I know my man want me. Check it out. If that's true, why they making robots? Think about it. Seriously, it's too much turmoil, too much stuff happening between the human nature. Women like, I don't feel like it tonight. Well, guy might like, I've been waiting for the last 6 months and you ain't did nothing, you know. And so y'all women, y'all better figure it out because they making robots for men to have sex with. Robots, with soft tissue, that feel like a human. They're making robots to replace you. What do you do? And that's probably a show I could do by itself. But I'm bringing up now because people are looking for love. What do you do? Start assessing yourself and say, could I be replaced with a robot? Look at your body, look at your naked body, whatever, and say, think about it. It's happening. Whether you agree with it or not, it's happening. People are spending major dollars to get these dolls. I don't know how much they cost, but I know they cost a lot of money. But to get these dolls to replace you, what do you do? Seriously. What do you do? Women, what you gonna do? I'm on your side. Y'all not even out. I ain't worried about it. Somebody gonna want this. But as you get older, maybe not. As you lose your vitality, maybe not. As things start to sag on you, maybe not. So you gotta look at the whole picture. Your hair's gonna turn gray. A robot, you ain't gotta worry about them. I'm not advocating robots. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying our life is changing in such a way that we have to figure out how to keep our sanity. Women, y'all can't compete with a robot, just like a woman can't compete with a man. If your husband want a man or your boyfriend you can't compete. All right. So it is what it is. Y'all got to figure it out. We've gotten to this stage in life where now they want to make robots. I mean, I didn't know I was going to spend this much time talking about this, but y'all got to figure it out. What type of wife you're going to be. And the thing is, you don't want to be a doormat neither. If I don't do what he wants, he going to replace me with a robot. It's going to break up a lot of homes. Seriously, y'all, I guarantee you, y'all have not thought that far in advance. I guarantee it. What if he leaves you for a robot? Think about it. And I may do a show about this later on, seriously. But what are you, I'm just putting it out there. Not that you have to make a choice now, but think about it. They're replacing people with jobs in the job market, for real. Machines are building a lot of these cars. These cars, I got a brand new car. And the thing is, I was knocking on the door. They don't make cars like that one too. It's not metal body. Everything is mostly, a type of plaster or fiberglass or whatever. It's not strong and tough the way it was because they got all these sensors to put on the brakes for you. I'm telling you, I'm behind a car in my new car, right? I'm behind a car and I take my feet off the brake and gas. It hits the brake for you, and the lights of the brakes light up on my car. So it slows down for me automatically. If I got too close, it would stop automatically, for real. So if you look at the car industry on how, they are replacing as they build them with people that were replacing people with machines and robots, right? Think about relationship. Relationships not that far off. Where your robot fix your coffee, fry your eggs, make your omelets, wash your clothes. Yeah, seriously, what do you do? These are real questions. And the thing is, I'm outside the box. I'm probably the only show that's out here talking about stuff like this. You heard it first on live on the Mike Gilcreast show. Seriously, think about this. Can you actually compete with a robot? I think you can. I think not. If guys say, I don't want to date, I'm keeping my money, I ain't worried about getting dated or married for 6 months, and then when I break up this marriage or mess up this marriage, I lose half my earnings. You can't lose your money to a robot. People don't want relationships where they have to be entangled into themselves and their finances and say, I can lose all this just by having sex with this other woman. It is what it is. It's a bad thing. We're not even there. All right. I didn't answer the question though. When the connection and relationships change over time, what stuff keep it strong? First, you got to know your options. You got to know option where you're dealing with. And the thing is, relationships should never get weak. Over time, you should be noticing things is not normal, and you start to interact or change your behavior, or look and ask your other partner, a partner, what can I do better in this relationship? And be honest with me. I'm not going to get mad at you. Some guys will not tell you the truth because they are in protest or fear of you retaliating because they want to tell you the truth. And then you don't want to hear the truth. And they tried several times. I'm telling you, it happens. They try several times to tell you the truth. And then you don't want to listen. Then you're stuck and you're like, oh, wow, you won't talk to me anymore. No, because you're going to retaliate. If I talk to you, you're going to retaliate, and guys don't want to deal with that. Yeah, that's the number one thing I think that guys feel disrespected, and it pushes them out of the relationship because you see it your way. You got to look at it both ways, and then you got to be mindful to shut your mouth and allow him to talk to explain what's going on in the relationship so you don't get replaced. Guys don't have to replace you with a dial, with a mechanical person. They can replace you with another person. Then you'll be single again, doing the same thing again. What have you learned? Ask yourself. If anybody's been married before or they've been in a relationship, ask yourself, what have you learned since the last time you were single? Whether you was divorced, whether somebody broke up with you, when was the last time, or what have you learned the last time that you broke up with somebody? What'd you learn? How can you improve yourself? How can you improve the relationship? How can you improve the next relationship? That was the stuff you should be looking at. And if you're not looking at that, you're doomed to repeat what you're doing again. All right? You're doomed for failure. So I'm just keeping it real. All right. So you got to start. Relationships just don't die. They start to die. So you got to start fixing stuff at the very, very beginning. Don't wait till it's a disaster. Y'all not talking. You can't look at each other. You can't touch each other. And then you're sleeping in two separate rooms or two ends of the bed. This is funny stuff. Because my wife and I, we don't do that stuff. We don't do those kinds of things. We don't have those kind of issues. Seriously, that's petty. It's for kids. And when you have a mature relationship, you don't worry about stuff like that. You don't look at stuff like that from that standpoint. So that's important. But start fixing it as you see things go wrong. Start talking. You got to ask the question, did I offend you? Did I do something wrong? How can I make it better? And then ask them, hey, hun, baby, whatever you call them. Say, would you ever consider replacing me with a robot? And it could be a joke at first, but it's the real deal. It's what's happening right now. All right. So figure that piece out. All right. One second. All right. Can love grow after serious challenges? You know what? You ever argue, and I'll kind of break it down to you. Have you ever argued with your spouse? We say spouse, significant other in some cases, but spouse. And you make up. I was told, and this is the best way I could give it to you, that makeup sex is the best thing. So I think, I think when a relationship and two people are in love, I don't believe that there's any challenge would separate that marriage. Because you got grown people you got sisters, you got family members try to break husband and wife up. All right. You got people that probably your friends try to break you up. And so, but when you have a serious relationship, you're not worried about people trying to bring up news and this, that, and other, or bad news or old news, trying to get you to break up with whomever. You're always going to have that. You always going to have somebody try to break you up. All right, look at people intent with intent. Some people would definitely try to break you up and act like they're your friend. I'm telling you, just is how it works. But I think when you have a serious relationship, you should be able to grow together stronger. I'm serious. You should be able to get stronger Because I look at my wife today, and I told her today, I said, "Where's that church?" I said, "You are just amazing." And she's like, "What? What did I do?" And the thing is, I just like how she carry herself. And I get, I'm attracted to her. So I look at that from that standpoint, like how she carries herself, how she behaves, and how she, carefree with life, and it makes me even more comfortable. See, you got to know what you want. And so we've had my wife and I, we had plenty of challenges, but it had not it came close to dividing us. And then that's not challenges up because I never gave her that like an ultimatum, it's either you or her. We don't have that kind of thing. Like I tell you again, 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 my wife is the only woman I've never cheated on. Only woman. And so as I tell you that, it's a true story. It is what it is. And so challenges I think can get stronger when you have challenges. I think your relationship can get stronger. I say it like that. All right. Next question. It says, what one piece of relationship advice you wish everyone knew? Ah, ah, that's a hard one. Cause it's so many. I wish people, number one, I wish people, all relationships had God. That's number one, right? But outside of God, I wish every relationship communicate. Say what you mean what you say, with no repercussions. Yeah, I'm not gonna get you. I'm not gonna get mad at you. I'm not gonna come back at you. I'm not gonna remind you. I'm not gonna, no repercussions. You have to be able to speak your mind and have your peace. If not, you're gonna be miserable. Seriously. I'm just telling you straight up. You're gonna be miserable. If you can't speak your mind, you're gonna be miserable. So you got to make your choice. I'm speak my mind or be miserable. It's that simple. Speak your mind or be miserable. Period. All right. And so I speak my mind. I refuse to be miserable. You know, I can do bad by myself. I'm not going to be in a relationship and be miserable. No way, no way. And the thing is, we don't have that. And so I answer these questions, and the thing is, I've had it in my past. I didn't want it. I didn't want to be in a relationship, and I wasn't happy. What's the sense? And so if I wasn't willing to work out things with my first wife, I'm willing to work out things with my second wife. What's the difference? They're put them side by side, ask them same questions, you'll get two different answers. That's the difference. And so I want the best always in every relationship. And so I strive for that. I push for that. You can tell how I'm talking. I talk and try to help other people reach the same goals I try to reach in relationship as well, because I think it's value added, it's worthwhile. All right. So hopefully that helps. All right. God first. That's the one. God first and communicate. You got to be able to communicate. If you can't speak your mind, you're going to have troubles in your relationship. All right. Um, how do you define respect in a relationship? Well. Two things. Women look at emotional security as respect, and from a woman's side, men look at the peace and quiet, not the nagging stuff like that, uh, um, as respect. If you wear clothes, most people are like, I'm not asking my man what can I wear this or not. It's my body, whatever. Then a dude would automatically know that's not wife material. You know, so so the thing is, you want to be able to put yourself in situations so your dude be able to protect you if something goes down. All right. And so if you want to dress like a whore or prostitute and you showing everything, because women today, old and young, I have seen more stretch marks and what's that Syrian section cuts and stuff on people's bodies because everybody wearing their belly out now. It's disgusting. Yuck. Let that be for your relationship. Let your man, your husband love you for who you are. Do not show your belly. Do not show the stretch marks on your side, on your back. Do not show that stuff. It's unattractive. I don't care what you think. You're trying to get a man. Oh, I'm going off. Let me calm down. Relax. 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 Women, Well, some women got some beautiful bodies. I'm not. I go to the beach. I'm on cruise ships. I ain't seen women's body, this, that, that. I ain't seen it, seen it, seen it, seen it. Women got beautiful bodies. Okay, let's cover it. But at the same time, some women don't have beautiful bodies. Some women that had two, three, four kids, and they're showing their stomach. Everybody want to show their stomach. I'm sexy. I'm this. I'm that. I'm that. And for what? Women, y'all leave nothing to the imagination. If every guy that's seen you, he can pretty much figure out how easy you are. You want to meet the guy, and I like. I'm telling you, I love Muslims, and for the simple fact, I love how they dress, because you can't see nothing. You can't see absolutely nothing. No stomach, no toes, no knees, no thighs, no. You don't see anything. You don't get to see their bras, their breasts on the side, nothing. Seriously, and I love that. I've dated a Muslim girl, and the thing is what it is. Much respect for her, for how she carried herself. Much respect. You know, American women, it's my body, it is. Then you're going to be single after your relationship is over because he's not going to marry you. Most guys don't want everybody just gawking at their woman. Guys are not insecure, but it's like, if you're that loose and everybody got to see what you got, what do I get? If you got stretch marks and this and that, and I take on you as a wife, why do everybody need to know how many stretch marks you got? You done had 8 kids, your body's stretched out of shape, and then you were forced enough to get a guy, and you want everybody to see that? Something's wrong with that. You shouldn't. I'll tell you, I seen more disgusting bodies in this past week. I'm telling you, people just don't care. You got old, wrinkled up people. You got tattoos that look like it faded, and you can't tell the design because people got old. That's how much flesh that people are showing. People that I'm getting a tattoo get old. They don't look right. They look disgusting. All right. So I'm just breaking it down as it is. You know, I'm telling you like it is. Don't ask me a question you don't want truth to. All right. Oh, define respect. I just broke down respect in that one. So let's do this one. All right. In a relationship, what kills love the most? Distrust, dishonesty, lying, lack of loyalty. Those things kill relationships to the most. All right. And lying can include, adultery, fornication, having sex with somebody else. All right. So all that includes that because that's deception. Guys don't like that. Women don't like that. Nobody likes that. So you gotta be honest. Why be in a relationship if you're not gonna be honest? All right. When I was in a relationship, if you read my book, I told women the same story, but I let them know I was married, separated, living with somebody else. They all knew that. And they wanted to deal with me anyway. And even with my past life, that's how I know even today women will share. They're like, women have gotten desperate. And then you show your body like you ain't got nothing for your imagination. Stop showing your body. Seriously. I look at women, I'm like, wow, that's a respectable woman. That's a respectable woman. I critique women. I like to look at people, but I critique, I'm like, wow, I like how they carry themselves. Because you can respect, if you don't respect yourself, how can you expect somebody else to respect you? My thing is, I was so disgusted of seeing so many old people. I'm talking 65, 70, old people wearing tank tops and no bras underneath, and tank tops and showing their body and their back out and this. I know it's hot, but it ain't that hot. I could be outside in a suit and I'm not sweating, as long as I ain't doing nothing extraneous. Come on now. So life is life. Eventually you'll be inside and cool and you go from there. But maintain a sense of purpose in your relationship in your life as you tend to look for someone to complement who you are. All right, learn. All right. And I try to answer these questions. We're almost done. I answered that. What kills love the most? All right. What is the number one reason relationships fail? Actually, it's a lot of number one reasons. Top 5 reasons. I told you that I did discussion on these. Is marriages fail, love fails, whatever. But it's um, sex, communication, finances, religion, and family. Those are top 5 number one reasons people marriages fail. All right. So lack of trust. You got to communicate. I don't trust you when you do this. I don't trust you when you do that. Thing is, people don't trust, but the partner goes out, they come back and like, where you been? Da 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 da. Where you been? What you up to? Da da da. I called you, didn't answer the phone. You go through all that stuff and then get yourself a headache. So when you trust someone, my wife come in and I'll be like, where you been? Where you been? Oh, you left at 3. You're back at 8:30. What's going on? You got another man. That's narcissistic. It's just crazy. It's controlling. You got to be able to trust your partner. If you don't trust your partner, you're in trouble. You're going to drive yourself crazy. If you're concerned about them and you lose yourself, you got to be able to trust and keep your peace of mind and go from there because the other stuff doesn't work. Really, it doesn't. All right. You got to keep it real. You got to be real and true to yourself. A lot of people, they're not true to themselves. They sacrifice. This new thing women doing, and I'm not just making this up. Women are allowing their boyfriends to sleep with other people, and they still keep them. They're allowing that to happen. That's like the new thing now. Some women say because the guy is real active and she don't want to have sex, so she don't mind he has sex with somebody else. That's not love. That's nothing close to love. That's an arrangement. All right. It's just an arrangement. Me and you get together when we can in the story. Right now, I'm gonna be with Jill, Susie, and whoever, because that's just how it works. You get these preconceived ideals of what you think relationship looks like, and you try to live up to it. It doesn't work. Open relationships. Y'all heard of open relationships. Where a guy can sleep with whoever, the wife can sleep with whoever, as long as you don't tell me who you slept with, and I don't tell you who I slept with, we're good to go. That's not love. That's not close to love. That's just sex. Just sex. And so you don't get life goal commitments out of stuff like that. All right. What's number one reason? Oh, I said that. I think I'm down to the last question. All right. Oh, we passed our time anyway. We good. In relationship, how can couples handle disagreements without resentment? After you disagree, if someone's offended, you got to learn to forgive. You got to forgive. If not, you're going to harden your heart. You're going to have things in there, and you're going to have resentment because you can't get around it. You got to forgive and then move forward and then be able to talk about whatever without repercussions. If you can't talk about whatever it is, whatever bothers you, whatever's on your mind, whatever's hurting you, whatever you can't sleep with, if you can't talk about it, you're hurting yourself. Oh, keep it bottled up inside me. Well, you're going to die of a heart attack too. And so you got to keep this thing real and be able to share your life with everybody. Me and my wife don't agree. I would be lying if I say she agreed with everything I say, and that's why our relationship works. No. We get stuck. Sometimes we can't finish it. Sometimes we can't, elaborate on it, and because our lives are busy. But we have to find time so we can be into each other, so we can share these moments with each other to build a better relationship. That's what it's about. If you're not doing that, looking out for your partner and growing together, it's not going to work. Period. I don't care how long you've been together, it's not going to work. So you don't get people talking like me. I'm telling you the truth because I done lived the life. Most women not even going to let you go. They don't want you to leave, and so you keep that to mind. I'm just telling you how the mindset works because I've done that. I've lived with people, and when women want you to break up with them and move in with them. And so it's not my party. It's not what I want to do. I want to be in control of my life. I want to know my destiny. I want to understand the relationship I'm in. That's being a man. That's owning up to your responsibilities. If you don't want that, what do you have? What are you doing? For real. What are you doing? And so some people are out there, they're lonely. They are lonely right now. And so my show is going to help you get back on the road. My show is going to help you, foster a relationship that's beneficial for you, that's safe for you, and that will draw you happiness. That's why people, y'all don't ask questions. Y'all don't ask the right questions. I try to give it to you. My next book is really going to help women be elated and happy with life and relationships, the whole 9 yards. You guys asked me to write it. That's why I have the show. I'm talking about, I'm giving you stuff. And y'all, most women are overconfident. That's a man's job. They're overconfident. Find out how you can be better. Find out how you can keep your relationship. Look at your family. Look at moms and grandmas and look at their relationships. Did they have strong values, strong relationships, strong morals? And a lot of times people didn't have that. The women are drinking in front of their grandmothers. Back in the day, it was tabooish. People didn't drink in front of their grandparents and their parents. They did not do those things. They respected their parents, but they modeled their relationships and had better relationships even after the fact. So I'm giving y'all extra stuff, all right? And so I appreciate y'all. I just wish y'all figure it out. Wish you get together, all right? And so until you do, we gonna keep going this like a circle effect of life, and you haven't figured it out, and then 10 years later, you're still trying to figure it out. And no, life's too short. We got to make the best life we can now. Learn what you can now. Do better on the things you can do better on now. All right, I'm done. All right. Hopefully I get these pictures working because they're not working, and I can show you some more pictures of LeBron James, the restaurant that we was at this past weekend, and trying to get there. Like I said, I'm hoping to get another book signed there and get my film debut there as well. So we'll see how that works out. I am trusting God that everything works out the way it's supposed to, and everything comes together the way it's supposed to, and things come together as a people going forward. I think it's an awesome thing we're doing. All right. Hope you love my show. All right. Don't just like it. Please subscribe to it. Tell your friends, family to subscribe to the show. This is one and only show where we keep it real. All right. And so appreciate you all for joining in. Thanks. And we go from there. All right. But awesome. I answered the question. So we could go from there. All right. What do I have here? And I always say faith connect to the power words, bring forth reality to God. I'm having some media problems, so I'm not going to be able to show some stuff I have. Oh, I can show this one. I trust in God.